Welcome into another episode of Discard for Magic. I'm one of your hosts, Aaron.
I'm your other host, James Erjexic, and today we're quite excited to bring back on Colby Douk and Joe Ellis.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having us. What about the Deepwood Grogs? For a while, there was a lot of Seers have broken the game. People still feel...
Well, we've had that Hecataya change out for a long time.
People seem very positive about the change on the Grogs. It's been online for a while, and people are very positive about it.
We need to print that with the next one. I think they just got forgotten about.
Literally, I think we forgot to include it, yeah.
Well, we just actually, on the podcast episode we did before this, had on an expert for the Deepwood Grogs, and so we discussed that a little bit. And it seems like the sentiment from them and the sentiment from the community, the change has been really good. They feel like they're in a very good place. They don't feel like super weak. The starting setup helped that change as well. And overall, I think it's been very, very positive about the Deepwood Grogs.
I'll probably go add those to the Moonstep Wolves right after this call so it doesn't get forgotten again.
Sounds good.
Now, I have had an email from somebody who's really unhappy with the Grok. So I just know if that person's listening,
Tough
they're
shit.
probably like rage in there, as they're driving or whatever. So obviously we can't do everything everybody wants. I am aware your email got read. They thought it was an over nerf, and they didn't think that the starting setup change helped.
Oh.
Well, that hasn't been the general sentiment.
Yeah.
Great.
It's definitely in the minority.
The person who we had on is like one of the people who played them the most before, and now he just says like the faction is even more fun to play, that it's a little more balanced. So that kind of surprised me when he said that.
Some people are reasonable, turns out.
Yeah. Well, I think originally he was one of the people also who pushed back originally, because when it got first announced, there was a little bit of pushback of I don't know if this is going to work. People don't like change. So they were unsure of if this was the right change for the faction. But as he played a lot of the faction, he said that he thought it made the faction more interesting in decision making, and it gave you a lot more to think about, and you could really even dive deeper into the faction than you could before.
Yeah, it's really fortunate that we have the app to soft release these and figure out over time, once the newness has worn off, what are the thoughts on it?
Yeah, in general, I just think, the app helps us make this one of the most well-explored and balanced game in its genre, outside of, obviously, the games that you can show up to a game store anywhere in America and play it, so...
We definitely have a bigger challenge in that we're not cycling cards out. A card doesn't just become obsolete over time if it's too strong. Keep the ecosystem balanced even as it expands bigger and bigger.
Yeah, Colby, we also have a Buishi that's pretty well tested because it's been through a lot of tournaments that's now currently in public, just -1 strength and a different starting setup. So we could probably throw that in too.
Gotcha.
Let me just do some work here on the podcast.
And what about the cloaks change? Do you think that's up there too?
That's not getting printed. We're considering that what we call a soft errata, where it's a little bit more around, even though it is a whole new word inserted in, so that it's says ranged common instead of common.
Yeah, just put that in the FAQ and be done with it.
Yeah, because if a regular person would read it, be like, what's the difference? I can't tell the difference. Then we could just make it a soft errata and just change it in the reprint, but not because it's not, that one. It's hard to, sometimes we over depend on saying people ask what was the design intention, and it's well, there's 3 of us plus all the playtesters who made suggestions, so I don't know what the intention was. But in that case, it's oh yeah, we did not intend for versatile machinist to just be sitting in the back giving blocks +1 range strength for a
machinist who can't attack range, just carrying around a cannon.
Right. That's public, and but that's not going to be in a pack. It's just...
Well, if we reprint, when the cloaks run out and we reprint them, it'll reflect on the reprint.
Right. There's 2 levels, and so the page I have on our website that's linked to from the Summoner Wars game page now lists all those minor erratas as well. So there's Colleen, who just accidentally hobbled the priest even more. and Beast Rider, but just because we updated the wording a little bit so that we could use their ability in Mount Vargath, and then Renewed Hope when we changed Draw to not be a phase, and Eerie Gate for clarification. And now Hand Cannon. Those are like tiny changes that are...
Yeah, like 98% of the people who buy Summoner Wars are not as tuned in enough to like notice any kind of shift in power on those kind of minor changes.
Right. And those are like, oh, Colleen. Well, we all tested it. Nobody reduced. Didn't have the enforced rules app, so nobody was reducing priest heals.
Oh, I didn't even think about
with
that.
Colleen. That's when we noticed, I think, even before the game came out. So it's that kind of stuff for those. So we stretched a little bit to include Hand Cannon in that list.
Another question we've had, it's been a while since another official Plaid Hat tournament. Do you know when we might see another one?
I'm not sure. So I had a list of tasks, and one of those tasks was to make it so I could automate tournaments, at the very least make them very easy for me to make. I got to it. I worked on it for a while. I may have even worked on it on a stream one day, and I got a bit stuck. So I switched to some other tasks and became a lot more productive. Soon I will be heading back there. I would really like to get that system going, because in the long run, it's going to lead to a lot more fun and a lot more tournaments than me running them one by one.
Yeah, it seems like it would be ideal to get it here before the next two factions so that we can have a tournament for them.
Yeah, I'm about ready to circle back because the Ashes Dice Roller is about done, and I've done now a whole bunch of just like general tasks that needed done on our website and things like that. I was up till 1 a.m. last night deploying new database stuff, which to my eye seems like it's running a little slow today, so I might have to modify that. But we had a literal list on notebook paper, and I think I've got about all of it done besides the tournament stuff. So it's time to go back and give it another try.
Joe's to-do list.
It is going to be a blast because that'll be like 36 or 54 person tournaments, and they'll just fill up. And then if they're all filled, then the next morning they'll start, and then it'll open another one, and that one will be open until it's filled. So it's like you can, and you could just be in one tournament at a time. So they won't be 8 or 9 weeks or whatever they have been, though 4 weeks plus a final. We can experiment and do more different things and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be cool, but it is a daunting project because it's automated tasks and it's changing things in the database and on the back end, but also it'll have to come with a new version of the app, has all the right context and all that stuff. So it turned out to be more work than I expected.
Speaking of changes on the app, someone asked who did the music for the app and what inspired the tracks that were used.
So the main theme is something we commissioned, the kind of the opening theme. That's Andrew Manson. He also did music for Familiar Tales. He's a longtime friend of Donald's. That's what he does. But the rest of it is all royalty-free stuff that we've bought.
And I think you can hear the difference. I think that one song is the best for sure.
Right. And then as far as what gets picked, it's just what sounds, just me going through a bunch of royalty-free stuff and what sounds the most like it would fit for the Summoner Wars mood, which is obviously a lot different than going to somebody and saying, this is the mood we're going for. That's just an expense consideration.
But yeah, check out Andrew Manson on SoundCloud.
He should be credited in the Familiar Tales app. What's his biggest credit? If you're looking at the website.
Star Wars Armada?
Something on Akira, something related to Akira.
It's an anime and a movie, I think.
I mean, I know what Akira is, but he does like trailer music and stuff like that.
Do you guys think there'd ever be a chance of more music coming to Summoner Wars?
It's not high on the priority list. I can see why the people who played a lot would want it, though, to mix things up.
For me personally, I don't even ever play with the sound on, so I don't even know.
Yeah, I think that's the pro move.
I've never really heard the music or the sound effects or anything.
I hear them sometimes, and then, like, if I'm around other people, I quickly turn my phone down to silent.
I like the music low and the sound effects normal. But if I were playing a shit ton, I think I would turn the music off.
The sound effects, unfortunately, they've fallen into disrepair. I feel bad every time I think about them because Donald made all these sound effects for the first 8 decks, I believe.
And they've been reused.
they've just been reused forever and ever and ever. So we don't really know what a Wayfarers event sounds like because it just ends up sounding
like a sneaks event.
Either sneaks or yeah, exactly. So
So yeah, maybe something we need to. It would be a nice to revisit, maybe with those Kickstarter funds, stretch goals, and whatnot.
yeah,
sound effects.
Get Donald making some noise if you pledge to the Kickstarter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also one of those things that I kind of dread code-wise. Not that anybody cares to hear this, but it's like I had to come up with a way to take all the sound files and compress them into one big sound file with a list of just going to be such a pain to figure out how I did all that and to undo and redo it all. But hey, maybe I could use an AI coding assistant and make it a lot easier.
Controversial.
Well, you guys recently also came back from Gen Con, fairly recently, last couple months or so. How did that go for you guys? How did Plaid Hat do at Gen Con? Anything exciting?
We were not demoing Summoner Wars, which is like probably the first time since what? Probably like 2017 or something like that.
Didn't demo at all.
No, Summoner Wars wasn't active in 2017. Maybe the first time since 2021-ish. Maybe 2020.
I mean, it was for sale, but we were really focused on getting Super Auto Pets plays in, which turned out to be under the radar public playtesting. That was really excellent at watching people play it and informing us how to help them out better. And
yeah, there was that, and it was also really good and affirming to see that getting a lot of people who stopped by because they saw, Super Auto Pets has a board game. Because anytime I do a licensed thing, I'm worried, like, what's the crossover audience? Is it going to be big enough? So Gen Con has me hopeful.
We didn't have any ashes for sale because we're in a holding pattern.
We don't have an entry point right now. We're sold out of the old entry point. The new entry point isn't here yet.
The biggest positive of Gen Con for sure was seeing how people responded to Super Auto Pets. It really, really strongly positive. So
nice.
It's a good game.
Yeah, I played a couple. I didn't play test it entirely, but I played a couple with Nick several months ago, and I really liked it. Sure, it's changed since I played it, but I thought it was a great iteration of the app, and I thought it really felt like it, and was a lot of fun when I played it with Nick.
Yeah, Nick really did the work to thread the needle on playing like Super Auto Pets in spirit, but working as a board game, as an in-person game.
Yeah, I saw Nick this week, and he seemed very, very happy about it.
And I just taught some people a week ago. They were not players of the app, and they caught on right away. And then by the time they got to like round 4 and round 5, and they're sitting there ordering their pets for the next fight, I'm like, yeah, it's a lot crunchier than it seems at first, isn't it? Like you end up like really thinking hard about how to order that stuff. Feels like it really matters. So
you see it ramp within a single play, though. Kind of able to grow with the complexity in that first play, and then multiple times playing it, you get better and better.
Yep, feeling good about that one. That'll be up on Kickstarter probably by the time this is out, hopefully.
Nice. Are there any other games you guys have coming up that you want to talk about or can talk about?
I'm working on a game called the Monolith that I've probably mentioned before. That's going to have a lot of plastics, kind of dudes on a map, but not any kind of dudes on a map thing you're maybe used to. Like very dark theme, lots of violence.
It's by Phil Gross, who has been around Summoner War, in and around Heroescape and Summoner Wars and stuff like that.
Yep, known him for a long time, just tangentially from meeting him at places. He showed me this design. It was actually a Summoner Wars game, but was the theming on it when I first looked at it, because he was pitching it as like, this could be a game set in Summoner Wars. There's this whole thing where like your units dying is part of the economy. That's how you get a resource. And so kind of leaned way into like death and gore and blood and darkness and insanity. It's a real over the top celebration of the grim dark. We went and got like some really great artists that have worked on Warhammer 40K and other grimdark stuff, and
same vibes as Super Auto Pets, right? So I mean,
yeah.
So yeah, if you like Super Auto Pets, you like this.
Colby's been iterating on it a lot, and it is really rounding into shape. It's now getting to the point where I'm just like really excited each time we play it because we're having a ton of fun.
Playing it tonight.
Yep, it's my kind of game. Me and my group, we love some dudes on a map going after each other and complaining that you should have attacked that other guy instead because they're in the lead.
I wrote a tie-break rule that is very aimed at Joe's group.
You all lose if there's a tie.
I've got like 3 tie breaks, and if it's still tied, like the player who's going to whine the least about losing wins.
Our last game that we just played, well, it wasn't even the last game, was it? Because we've played it twice this week already. Our game here at the office with Donald, it literally, Colby pushed himself into a space. It made me decide between him and Donald, essentially, at the very end of the game.
Yeah, it was real tight.
I was going to kill somebody for a point, and that was going to cause somebody to lose their heart from their bow space, which is a huge blow. And it was going to have to be one of the two of them. So, yeah, there's plenty of that.
Yep, and so I lost by 1 point because Joe did not pick me. He did not make me king.
But that's fair because he created the situation.
The game takes place over 4 rounds. Kind of what it's always done well is each round becomes increasingly intense and your decisions matter more and more. And like round 4 has always been a banger.
Nice.
It crescendos really nicely as a game.
Let me tell you guys something else. Like with this genre, which you'd think of like, oh yeah, this is one of the basic genres of board games, dudes on a map. I went through the Gen Con preview this past year of new games for sale, hundreds and hundreds of games, and I could only find, I think, 2 new dudes on a map games released at Gen Con this past year. Whereas games about knitting, conservation, cats, like literally probably 10 plus of each of them. And there's a cat in Super Auto Pets, so we're covered there.
You're saying you're going against the grain here.
I guess so, but it's also just like shocking to me. Roth was one of the 2 games, which is a chip theory game that I haven't played, but it looks good. I think there was another one, but I can't even remember what it was. Hopefully people will be ready to play this type of game again by the time this comes out. So
It's probably Gen Con.
Next Gen Con. I might try to be there this year. We'll see.
Nice. You don't have a very long trip, do you? 6 hours from where you're at?
Maybe more like 5. It's not too bad.
I have also made plans to attend. We'll see if they come to fruition, but I've already booked an Airbnb, so
awesome.
Hoping to be there.
The other thing we did at Gen Con after the night after the tournament is we picked a spot for everybody who was at the tournament, invited them to come and play games together, and we had 5 people come and hang out, including Tortugatron and some others.
Nice.
So I think we would definitely do that again. Maybe create a live podcast recording and we can go tournament to podcast recording to gaming hangout. That would be really helpful if you could do that because we got lucky to get a table last year. If you guys did a podcast recording, then we could just squat in that room afterwards and play games.
Well, we talked a little bit about maybe we can rent a room in the convention center that we use for meetings during the day and gaming during the evenings.
That would be great, yeah.
You know, take the Summoner Wars group back there after the Summoner Wars tournament, take the Ashes group back there after the Ashes tournament.
Schmooze with important people in the industry for Colby during the day, like Podfather and Christian T. Peterson.
Yeah, I always have to meet with the Podfather for some reason. I do see him every year. We end up at Christian Peterson's party, the French party.
Well, the last question I want to pose to you guys, bit of a doozy. What unit would you draft for each position in football? QB, like if you were doing a fantasy draft and you need a QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex, and a defense. Defense just being like any faction. You can use like champs, commons for all the other ones.
Now, we have discussed quarterback a little bit, right? I'm sure we've discussed.
Yeah, we did discuss
Where did we
land? We thought that the Chosen Grove Elderly would be very hard to take down as a quarterback.
Yeah,
that's
but
true.
he's also not going to be able to like go down the field.
He's able to stand in the pocket.
Celeste was thrown out as maybe a good quarterback.
Yeah, she does advance. I mean, I feel like Vlach, we got to get some intelligence in there, some craftiness.
Wow,
Fox
Celeste
would be
is dumb. That's now canon. Apparently.
No, she's got the cunning symbol too. I feel like cunning and engineering is a little more brain based.
Well, she's spirit, so she's rallying the team, on the sideline.
True.
The Mountain Vargath, wouldn't he be a good quarterback? Like Sunderved?
I mean, if you're going that way,
Yeah.
do Grognak, let's get some tall boys.
Yeah.
But they're not ranged.
So they're a running quarterback. You try and take down Grognak with the football.
Yeah,
Okay?
Grognak maybe needs to be a fullback. We can do the old Al Scott fullback that broke the game for a little while.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Wide receivers is that's speed, right? So who's got Swift?
Who's got greater Swift?
The one Storm Goblin champ.
Yeah, lightning.
Yeah.
Lightning speed. Is that right?
Yeah. That's a wide receiver. He's not tall though. He's a goblin. I feel like you gotta have a tall receiver.
That's
He's
your
a slot
Tyreek Hill.
receiver, I think.
I feel like Bug Biter would be a good wide receiver because it would just fly and you could throw it to it in the air. And then
No, they'd always crash. They'd crash every
you
time.
only need to catch it 4 times a game and get set 50 yards each time.
Man, if your wide receiver gets injured after 2 plays, I don't think that's how you want to do
Get
it.
more of them. You just got more of them.
Fast and tall. Is there any shadow elves with speed or any elves with speed abilities?
Rhino.
Well,
I mean,
Rhino.
I think the lack
true.
of hands might hurt him as a wide receiver.
Just catch it with the horn. Catch it with the horn.
Rhino.
Baldo's pretty good because he's got the agility.
Right, yeah, he can get open.
Jukes one way and then goes the other way.
What about Sokka from the Island Beckons? Got some speed
Yeah.
there a little bit. Moves with the summoner.
Sakaua.
In sync with the summoner. That's pretty good.
What about running back? We could find plenty of Derrick Henry types, right?
Yeah. Maybe the fighter from the Vargath.
Yeah, but maybe that's a offensive lineman though. He's open at poles.
That's true.
Fighter's the one with the pushes when he attacks, right?
Yep.
And then the
yep.
brutes have a similar ability where they're slow. Yeah, that'd probably be like another lineman or
Oh, yeah. That's literally like an offensive lineman ability.
Yeah, we'll just bring the whole Vargath in to play the O-line.
Who would be the shifty running back? I'm not sure. I'm looking around. The eater could open up some holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boldo, I think, is a good running back choice too. He's finding lots of
might
holes.
be good at every position.
Yeah, you have extra spaces you have to clog to keep him out.
Maybe Dagger's the shifty running back.
Yeah, that's
Dagger
Dagger's
would
good.
play dirty.
Dagger could be Josh Allen. He could throw the ball and receive that same ball for a touchdown.
Once you get into the real magic-y stuff, Talo is switch places with a friendly illusory unit. So yeah, you can.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of misdirection possible.
Lark.
Just make your team fly.
Yeah, just the whole team starts flying.
I think Silts could make a lot of people miss as a wide receiver or a running back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just make sure you're on the same page. It could result in some interceptions.
Or if you want a beefy running back, maybe you go Blub, very aggressive.
You go with Biter if you want a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
What? Original biter, not bug biter?
But biter
Yeah.
from one knee.
Now, tight end, that's a little trickier. You definitely want somebody big with good hands.
Frenzying champion from the Tundra Orcs.
Ragnar?
Wait, Ragnar doesn't frenzy anymore. He
That could
gives
be a good
a
one.
boost to, which works. Like he's supporting his quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Ragnar's pretty good.
I'm putting Ragnar in at tight end on my fantasy team. My fantasy football.
Anybody from the fungal dwarfs capable here?
Thune, maybe, for quarterback.
The monstrosity.
Monstrosity is your defensive tackle. I feel like Brub has some solid stature to be like a tight end, or have to lose the Gatling gun, of course. I don't think that's legal, but
Yeah, all the Tundra Orcs are big boys. Except for the mages.
Corliss.
The shaman.
Even the shaman's got a little bit of beef.
Just not for a tundra orc.
Yeah, he's considered puny for a tundra orc.
I see in your list you also have just defense as a faction like you do in fantasy football.
Who's the best defensive
I mean, it's the
faction
Vanguards, right?
against football? For football, though? Are they...
Yeah, I mean, they're locking people down.
Maybe.
Maybe the Guild Dwarves.
Skeptical.
Guild Wars might be a good one. Structures might be frowned upon, but...
What about the breakers?
Breakers have a lot of control. Psychics are good.
Deceivers and all the pushing with the wind mages and stuff?
Deceivers are common, so we can fill a lot of positions with them.
I feel like the Forged would be better at defense than they are at offense. Even though in the game they're very aggressive, in football I feel like they just break down on offense. But on defense, they could just set up a defensive formation and stop most things.
I don't know. They get an injury every time they move.
Who has the ability to do the equivalent of like a pick six in the analogy to Summoner Wars, besides just clogging up space? Who could make the big play and the turnover?
This comes back to what Colby was saying the first time we talked about football. Was like, I feel like the birds would be good at like interceptions and stuff.
Swamp Orcs I feel like could be real good at that. Maybe like Splack or Glurp. Glurp's got tons of vines.
Yeah, reach a vine up there and snag it out the air.
Yeah.
Or out of someone's hands.
Do a vine pull on it.
Or even the Vine Mancer.
Yeah.
I think Volcanic Blast from Balzar is,
Did you guys ever play backyard football?
I played Blitz. I don't know if I played backyard football.
Oh, because when you said Volcanic Blast, Joe, it made me think of, in the backyard football, there was like a power-up you could get where everybody just fell down, and I feel like that would be what happens with Volcanic Blast. It's just like everybody falls down and you got so much time before they get back up.
We're trying to pull a Blood Bowl here and make a football game out of Summoner Wars characters.
I think it would work.
I have worked on one a little bit. I don't know how viable it is yet.
Aaron has sent me rules for that. I haven't had the chance to show it.
So he's trying to mine us for what characters put in what positions.
Well, this was not my question. This came from the Fantasy Football League that's in Summoner Wars now.
Gotcha.
There's 10 players who made a little fantasy football league. I don't remember all their team names, but one of them was QB Sneaks.
There's some great names in here. I'll tell you all the names. We have We're Going to OV Time.
All right.
Oh, man.
We have The Forced Fungals, which is me.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like that.
We have Goblin Ground Game. Damar's 2-pint Conversion.
All right.
We have QB Sneaks. We have Quen Yard Penalty.
All right.
We have Titus Endis.
What?
Titus from the High Elves.
Yeah, and then like tight end, but it's just Titus Endis.
Yeah.
And then Prince Elion's Revenge, and the last one is Titanic Trees.
Nice. Very nice. You have to come up with a Summoner Wars pun to make it in.
We even played a little tournament to determine draft order, so...
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, nice.
It was a good time. I'm doing mediocre at the moment, but it's been good.
Yeah, same. My fantasy football team decided this year we started a legacy. Is that what it's called? Basically, everybody's a keeper. I'm a little worried about it.
Year to
I'm a little worried it's real unfun for some people.
Somebody's got to be the Browns in that world.
Yeah. I'm worried about becoming the Browns.
Well, your Bills have been looking pretty good, so at least that's an upside.
Josh Allen fell to third in our draft pick, so picked him up.
This time of year is never the problem for the Buffalo Bills. So
yeah, it's that last game of the season that's the problem. Playoffs against Kansas City is the problem.
Well, Kansas City's been struggling, so
has the Ravens. So our two big hurdles are struggling right now.
Maybe one of them might not even make the playoffs. We'll see.
I doubt it. Mahomes looked pretty good last week.
I think the Kansas City will right the ship, but the Ravens, Lamar's down now, and they're 1-3, and they got to play with Cooper Rush for a couple of weeks. I think they are in a world of hurt at the moment.
Yeah, they might find themselves struggling to get the playoffs, I suppose.
I think that's all the questions we had for you guys. Any other questions you wanted to ask us?
We got the important feedback on Shimmer Sea Fae. What would you guys say is the most recent turn in the competitive community?
What's the new problem?
What's the latest buzzword for a new technique that we maybe haven't heard yet?
What's 2025's donkey stack?
I don't know if there's anything that, as far as donkey stacks go, like any name like that people have been throwing around.
I feel like it's been pretty quiet on like the new. People are always talking about Crimson Order, but that's a different story.
And a lot of people think that both the last two factions ended up pretty strong, even though they were kind of hard to play at first. I think like the Vekit and the Spectral Conclave, people think both of them are pretty strong. There's debates as to how strong.
I commentated a live game, had the Conclave in it, and it was definitely interesting. It seems like, is this correct? Basically, if at all possible, just never ever trigger
Depart,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say for the most part, yeah, unless you can like destroy them now or like the following turn kind of thing. Because if you put yourself in a position where they have like 3 or 4 boosts, they can murder you with Unleash pretty easily, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's generally the strategy against Spectral Conclave at the moment is just, if you have the option, especially if you have the range units, just never depart anything, and then they struggle to get their engine to go. But the problem is a couple of the factions don't have that option, like Tundra Orcs don't have a whole lot of ranged, and Vargrath don't have a whole lot of range. So then you have to change your tactics, and I think they can still do stuff by like charging in and trying to find the summoner, but it's a different outlook.
That's the idea, is it's kind of a fork in the road. My sense was that if you can go that certain direction.
You know, something I noticed, I don't think I've ever talked about, but something I discovered, and I think I talked to Joe about it, was for the most part, the factions sell about the same amounts, but you can take each release of 2 factions and you can compare them one to the other. And without fail, the one that does slightly better is the stronger faction, whichever one has a better win rate on the app.
Always sells more?
It always sells slightly more. There are definitely people out there that are like, I'll just take the good ones.
So which one's the good one in this pair? The Spectral Conclave, is what you're saying?
I don't know if I've looked at the latest pair.
Mm-hmm.
It might be too early to compare them.
I'm looking forward to the next 2. They should be fun. Well, the next 4, I guess, too.
Well, you were the only person who ever asked for Guild Dwarfs. Here they are.
I mean, I like the Guild Dwarves. I liked them in first edition. I know they were very maligned with people saying they're way too strong and stuff.
Well, I think they're just like the least creative thematically. It's like these are just some dwarf-ass dwarves.
Including Dwarf.
Including Dwarf,
Yep.
just to drive the point home.
When we finished playtesting the Guild Dwarves, I one day went in, whoever was around in the playtesting server was like, are you guys okay with doing another really structure-heavy faction right away with these squirrels? And nobody was burnt out on it. They were all like, no, that's like my favorite kind of deck. Let's do it. Yeah, we're excited. So I noticed in Tom's top 10 list, he had plenty of engineering factions on there. So I think people just enjoy that stuff. You know, you kind of get to, it's that different kind of decision where your placement is a little less, not permanent, but, you know, it's a little more long-term thinking in the way that a lot of factions only get to do that with gates. So, yeah, I'm thinking people will enjoy having a couple of engineering factions.
Well, the Stormholds do engineering quite a bit different. I think they bring their own flavor to it for sure.
Lumber wheels.
Yeah, we got lumber wheels, we got rumble buses.
Yeah, they're a good time.
Has there been any hate on them? Like, they're doing squirrels?
No, everybody's excited for the squirrels.
They're excited for squirrels. There are people like, I don't care how good they are. I am maining this faction. That's mostly what I've seen.
All right, good.
We had Jeff on the podcast recently, and after that episode got released, everybody was like super excited even more, but also very upset that we released it far before the squirrels were going to get there. They're like, you guys are just taunting us with squirrel goodness.
I would honestly be surprised if they're not solid competitively, because they just have a lot of tools to get things done.
We shall see. As good as the playtesters are, I think it's often just tough to know exactly where something will land. You can be like, okay, this feels good. It feels about right. But I think within that few percentage points that can determine whether people think it's overpowered or not, it can be hard to say.
I mean, we definitely learned early on that the balance in Summoner Wars is on a knife's edge.
Yeah.
We had factions change dramatically by small shifts in starting setup.
And you only get so many games in with a handful of games, in a sense, in the final version. So if I'm looking at total for the Squirrels, it looks like we probably played maybe 500 games, 400 to 500 games or something like that. They'll be in that many games in the first 24 hours when they're released. So
you can have one person play that many games in a few months.
There's like 10 active playtesters. And then once you open it up to a few hundred people, it's like it just takes one of them seeing something that group of 10 didn't. Everybody copies that, right? So
yeah, and that's true for every single game out there.
It can go the other way too, where somebody solves something fighting against a faction.
But your most diligently play-tested games like Summoner Wars, it's still just a drop in the bucket of all the games that will be played with. And it wouldn't be any fun. If we could figure it out in advance, it wouldn't be interesting, would it? So
Well, we appreciate you guys coming on the podcast and hanging out with us, talking some Summoner Wars.
Yeah, it's fun. Anytime, of course. I was on more recently than Colby, I believe, right? Because I came on for the stats episode.
We got to keep me more exclusive, keep the appearances up.
We have to pay more to get Colby on than we have to pay for you, Joe. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a lot cheaper. Look out for update on the tournament stuff.
It's all going to be fixed by the time this episode releases.
Yes, that's a promise. That'll be hopefully though the next thing you hear from me. Hopefully, like Colby said, hopefully that's before the Guild Dwarves and Dragons are launched. So we'll see.
All right.
This has been another episode of Discard for Magic, and we'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
Bye, everybody. Love you.